So now we do two types of training. We have every Monday we publish an article on our website, lidonation.com,
Yes.
that teaches something about blockchain.
Yeah.
And then we also do some developer training and mentorship physically on ground in Kenya. And I will start teaching you how to build enterprise application that makes use of blockchain technology. We do this
Great.
for 3 months. And it's not, you're not working for free.
Yes.
There is an incentivization structure where you get paid. That effort was so successful, we got another grant to do more work. And then we found a partner, WADA, and then Lido Nation put some of a bit of their own money. We created this space where the interview is happening now, which is the Blockchain Centre at Malala Oasis in Kilimani.
Hello and welcome back again to Job Tech Voices. My name is Samson. I'm your host. And this is where we talk about the future of work, job tech, digital work, and the digital economy, as well as blockchain and Internet of Things. And today we are so happy to be joined by a great guest. His name is Darlington. He's the co-dreamer of Lido Nation. He's an engineer and also he likes dancing a lot, humanitarian idealist, and an entrepreneur. And I'm so happy to introduce himself. Welcome to the podcast, Darlington.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. Wow. How did you get the dancing bit?
Maybe I have some secret clips of you dancing, and I'd like to see that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Darlington. You pretty much co-dreamer at Lido Nation, also co-founder at the Blockchain Centre in Nairobi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good to have you here. Yeah, and also to start, we can hear a bit about your background. How did you get into blockchain engineering? Tell us more. How did that journey start?
Nice. My passion growing up was always writing. I guess maybe you didn't get that from your research. Poetry, short stories, those kinds of things. My major was in English.
Yes.
Surprisingly enough. But then after my time with English, I also like puzzles, and there was some pretty similarities to how you compose a poem or a short story to how you might compose a software program.
Yes.
So after my English time, I was just looking for what to actually do. Entrepreneurship was always a thing. I never thought I would be like a teacher or an author or anything along those lines. And so the entrepreneurship route naturally took me into tech.
Yes.
And tech came easy to me. So I did a 2-year course in computer science, got an associate program degree. And after that, I just looked at the market and I said, I need to spend the next 3-4 years just mastering my craft. So what are people hiring for? At the time I live in the United States, there is a website. I think that website has a Kenyan version, but I've never heard any Kenyan talk about it. Craigslist.
Oh,
do you know this?
I've had a few people talk about it.
Okay.
I kind of know about it, Craigslist, and not so many details, but
yeah, right. So Craigslist is a bounty site. This was before Uber and the bounty economy, the gig economy. It's a gig website where you can go and just do different jobs.
Yes.
So I was just looking and seeing what technology are people hiring for. At the time, it was mostly WordPress.
Yes.
And that's where my journey started. I learned WordPress. I built a WordPress business up to 60 clients at one time.
Wow.
And the more I had to do and the more I had to make WordPress do things it wasn't designed to do, the more I was forced to learn other computer science technologies.
Yes.
Things like hosting and Kubernetes and Git and CI/CD pipelines. And so that just pushed me to learn more things. And naturally, the more things I learn, you might think of it as starting from the top of the stack and then going down bit by bit. The lower I go down to the base level of computer science, the more interested I got. So I I diverged my WordPress business and I went into others technical languages.
Yes.
TypeScript was getting popular at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I did Java for a bit, and then eventually Rust. Um, and the lower and lower you get to these very complex languages, you start to uncover complex emerging technology that's
Yes.
need these lower level languages, and that's how I found blockchain.
Wow.
Um,
And how when was this?
this was
When you're starting
this
when
was
you're
when I was
studying
too
computer
stupid
science?
enough to invest in blockchain. Um,
Really?
or maybe too skeptical.
Uh-huh.
I found blockchain in when was this? 2007, 2006.
When people were serious, when people were doing, Bitcoin, you
Yes.
are not interested.
I was not interested. I think I'm forgetting the prices, but I feel like I knew about Bitcoin when it was well below $10.
Uh-huh.
Um, I might be getting my timelines wrong. But back then, one of the reason why I didn't go the investment route when I discovered blockchain, because I do not invest in anything I don't understand.
Yes.
And at the time, Bitcoin, you couldn't do anything with it except hold it. There was not much to understand.
Uh-huh.
But Ethereum came shortly after that.
Yes.
And I was trying to understand Ethereum and trying to learn how to, as a technical person, engage with it technically to see if it's a viable technology to even think about investment. But yeah, that's how I got into blockchain. I when I found Ethereum, I did everything. At one point, I participated in over 100 different Ethereum community when ICO, initial coin offering, was an early mechanism that Ethereum invented as a way to raise money to
Yes.
build blockchain projects. I was in all of those activities, and I never went back. I've come far from Ethereum, but that's how it started, basically.
Did you start investing in Ethereum back then, even as because you're talking about you've done computer science, you're dealing with a lot of development, then you discover blockchain. Did you invest at that point, or that came
A
a bit
little.
later?
I invested a little. I was also really early because remember, I didn't do a full year program in computer science, just two. So the jobs I could get, and also the jobs I were getting, were from Craigslist.
Yeah.
So the earning was not great.
Uh-huh.
Put differently, I was poor.
That's quite strange to hear from a techie who is in the US. My viewers in Kenya must be surprised. What do you mean?
So the US, you can earn a lot more, but also the cost of living is a lot higher, like extremely higher. And then also when you're a freelancer,
Yes.
you fast and feast.
So you're freelancing then?
I was freelancing then. I wasn't with the company. You fast and feast. So maybe one day you get a contract that's like 3 months rent.
Yes.
But then it might take 4 months to get the next contract. So you really have to manage your money.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're with Ethereum, but then when did the idea of building a community or founding a company or something around blockchain now come into you, even as we get into Lido Nation?
That was a natural progression. And I think that came out of the people I had around me.
Yes.
It wasn't a genius roadmap that I just woke up at 3 in the morning and just mapped out my life. It wasn't like that. It was more like feeling upwards and discovering and pivoting. So my software engineering journey after Ethereum, I really didn't understand the blockchain, and then also I didn't understand the vision for Ethereum and like what human problem it was trying to solve.
Yes.
And so I did a little bit of investment, and then after everything went bust and all of those small ICO projects crashed, I took a step back and really try to focus on my engineering skills. I
Yes.
took a job at a regular company, worked there for 3 years, and then one good thing that happened before I left the blockchain space, when all the crash was happening, I discovered Cardano just because there was not much back then. It was Ethereum, Bitcoin, and then all of the small projects within Ethereum.
Yes.
So any new thing that happened were news. XRP came out. Um, the Chinese version of Ethereum that I'm forgetting, I think it was Neo, maybe came out. I looked at that, but none of them really align with like my values and what I want to do in life, and what I want my semblance of a legacy to look like.
Yeah.
But when I discovered Cardano, it just clicked. It was just people first, solving problems for real people. And then also, I don't know if this was a marketing ploy by Cardano,
Yes.
or just hopium. They claim to want to onboard 1 billion Africans. So of course I was interested.
Yes.
As being an African.
Yeah, 1 billion is quite a huge number. And even before we get into now Cardano and Lido Nation, for someone who does not understand blockchain, because there's some of my audience who may be wondering, what is blockchain? And when you talk about Cardano, Ethereum, what are you talking about?
Yeah, blockchain is a new way to store data. If you look at any part of your life, all of it is driven by data.
Yes.
What's your national ID, your account at the water supply company, your phone number, everything is data driven. But up until blockchain, all of that data was controlled by either a government or a private company or a public company, a corporation. Blockchain is saying, okay, there's lots of data. Let's have this data stored in a way that you don't need a government to manage it. You don't need a company to manage it. It can be managed in a seamless, automatic way by a lot of, let's just call them volunteers.
Okay.
There are, you can make money by helping manage a blockchain system. But the whole idea is it's not one person controlling that data. And so what you get for storing data in this way is you're not able to go to someone at the cafe and pay them money to go change something in the system for you.
I see. Yeah.
Because so if you don't know, if you're not a tech person at all, you can just think of it that way.
Okay. And so this data, you have multiple people who are controlling or, storing this data, not one central place.
Not one central place, right? And then so you hear Bitcoin, you hear Cardano. These are all different attempts on how to use this new way of storing data.
Yes.
So, for example, you might have a phone number, and that phone number might belong to one company.
Yes.
They can wake up one day and say, by the way, your phone is not working today, and you have to go and convince that one company to make your phone work again. There is a company called World Mobile that's saying, okay, what if we change that and say, when you get a phone number, the fact that you have that phone number is stored in this new way. There's something behind blockchain called a distributed ledger. It's stored on this blockchain technology. So even though World Mobile is the one putting all of that information on the system, the data is distributed, is in the world distributed ledger technology, is distributed across many computers, that each computer is controlled by a different person or a different company.
Yes.
And these computers are all over the world. Any company, for most blockchain, if it's public, any human or any company can say, hey, I want to help store data for this blockchain, and they can set up a computer in their office or in their home.
Yeah.
And then they join that entire global network. So everything that needs to happen, all of these computers needs to agree to those changes. They needs to follow all of the rules that are defined ahead of time. So if you have a phone number that's backed by a blockchain system instead of one company, suddenly that company is not able to take that phone number away from you. Even doesn't matter what, it will be yours forever unless you agree. Unless you agree. If the blockchain system is the one controlling, say, text messages, right?
Yes.
If the text messages are going over those system, now that company won't be able to just say, hey, you are not receiving text messages anymore. That's what I mean by data. So communication is data, money is data. And so there's just different solutions. Anything that's backed by information can be put on the blockchain so that this control is distributed instead of centralized with one entity.
Wow, yeah, that's quite a lot, because I'm thinking, then what happens to telecommunications companies or banking, who and these are companies that have a lot of our data. You know, whenever you need to get services, you have to register, you have to give your ID, your number, all this information. So what you're saying is that with blockchain now, they are no longer custodians of that data. They just access it from a third party channel.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And they can issue you data, but then once they issue you control it. They cannot take it away. They cannot prevent. And then if people are using the system,
yes,
when they issue data, you be the one that can then say who that data can be shared with, who can see it, and those kinds of things. But these companies, they're not going away. It's a new technology. They're going to learn how to use it and integrate.
Amazing, because I was a bit worried. I was wondering now what's going to happen. But yeah, let's get now into Lido Nation. How did you come to create Lido Nation, and what is Lido Nation all about?
Right. So I found Cardano, but there was still nothing to do.
Yes.
It was just a brand new system. So I just, on my calendar, because I was focusing on my software engineering career for that period of my life, on my calendar, I had a 6 months reminder, check on blockchain. And so I was on Christmas vacation, I think in 2019 maybe. I'm getting the dates mixed up now, but it was December, I was on Christmas.
Yes.
I got the calendar reminder, hey, check on blockchain. And I opened my computer and checked on blockchain. And blockchain had grown by like 10 times in terms of functionality and usefulness. So immediately, as an entrepreneur, technical guy, I'm thinking, oh, this thing is useful now. What can I do with it?
I see.
Right. So at the time, even though it was much more useful, the only thing you could do was participate in this global network. Anybody could now go on Cardano, that is, you could now go and set up a server and say, I want to help run the Cardano network. So, and then they had all these other features they were working on. So that's what I did. And that's how Lido Nation was born. I set up the server in the blockchain space. It's called setting up a pool, in Cardano, because once you set up the server, that's step one. Step two, you have to pool people together to say, hey, this guy that's running this server can be trusted to process this public data.
Yes.
So it's called delegating. When you say that, when you pick my server as a trusted processor, the more I'm trusted, the more data Cardano hands me to process.
I see.
So that's how Lido was born, is by joining this Cardano network. And then now if I'm going around, because I don't know the people, the blockchain is a global thing. I was still living in the US at the time. How am I going to convince some person in Nairobi to trust my server?
To handle their data.
Right?
Yeah, I also wouldn't be, I would be very skeptical about that.
Exactly. So to be able to show that I'm trustworthy, I returned to some of my roots. As a software engineer, I usually have one or two people I'm mentoring who's coming up in the software business. So on Orthodox, Education has always been like a passion of mine.
Yeah.
So I did two things. As most people, most entrepreneur, actually, I did three things. The first thing I did that most entrepreneurs do that means nothing is I bought a domain name.
I can relate to that. I found myself in that situation where you're thinking about that perfect name,
Right.
or whatever name, and then you secure it
You
first.
repurchase a domain name and it's worthless, and it's like that's not the problem.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I bought a domain name, and then at least I took the next step. In this case, for Lido Nation,
Yes.
I started writing. I thought, let me just help educate people on this future that's coming 5-10 years from now.
Yes.
And by doing that, hopefully they will trust me to process data for Cardano. And that's how
Okay.
Lido Nation was born, as an education brand.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I did was share what I was doing with my friends. Not all of them, just the one that have their brain screwed on right.
Yes.
Because sometimes if you don't have the right support, they can kill your dreams. It's like you tell someone something and immediately they poke a hole in it.
And they discourage you.
And they discourage you. But I had a very good friend, a close friend of mine. I was sharing with her what was happening, and she was interested, which encouraged me.
Yes.
And then she was a newbie. I was highly technical person trying to communicate to newbies. So she would tell me which part of it sounded stupid. And then I would put my ego aside and fix it and then get the article out. Sometimes we will go back 2, 3, 4, 5 times before I say something in a way that makes sense to normal people. And that's how Lido Nation was born, like as a brand for blockchain education for normal people.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, that's quite a journey. And allow me to go back a bit. You've talked about identifying Cardano and you realize there's something you can do with Cardano. What is Cardano?
Right. So when Bitcoin was launched,
Yes.
it was just trying to be a store of value.
Yes.
A bunch of people, and what does that mean? A lot of people who use government money.
Yeah.
Every single person can attest to this if you live in a country. If you don't live in a country, please invite me into your land. If you live in a country that has money, you realize every year the things you can buy with 100 worth of your money, 100 shillings, 100 USD, whatever, reduces and reduces.
I see.
Before, if you had 100 USD, you could feed a family for like 2 weeks. Now you'll be lucky if you can do that for 2 days, right? So people are looking at how the money was just getting devalue, how your salary was becoming less and less enough to sustain your family every year. And they decided, well, what if we had something else that is not devalued as easily, that the devaluation of that thing is not controlled by governments, because usually governments is the reason why the value of the money goes down. So they wanted something government could not control that could hold its value. So if you have that thing and the value of your money goes down, the value of the thing that you have will go up.
Yes.
Right. So it's like buying a house, right? If you bought a house one year and you have it like 10 years later, sometimes the price of that house have doubled.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Yeah.
But even though the price of the house doubled, the value of your money sometimes goes down by 50%. So people who have houses are still better because they have more money, even though the money is becoming useless. So that's the problem Bitcoin was trying to solve. But then once people realize, oh, this way of storing data, and now we're using it to store currency, can be used to store other kinds of data. Like I was saying, it can be used to store text messages if you want to. It can be used to store national IDs if you want to, right? So but to be able to store other kinds of data, you need it to be able to run computer software and computer programs. So the Bitcoin does not do that. Bitcoin just knows about money. It cannot be general purpose.
Yes.
So people wanted to create a generous purpose blockchain system that lets you store other kinds of data and have other kinds of applications on it.
I see.
They try with Ethereum, but Ethereum was the first effort, and it ran into a lot of issues. As soon as more people start using it, it got slower and more expensive to use. So they started from the ground up, and they took what was good with Bitcoin, combined it with what was good with Ethereum and other things, and they made Cardano. So Cardano is like Bitcoin 2.0. It secures data the same way Bitcoin does.
Yeah.
But also it has its general purpose, so you can develop different kinds of applications with it. And it's almost like a computer in a cloud, so to speak.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, now that's a very clear explanation, and thanks for that, because it's also good to understand when you talk about Lido Nation and Cardano, what are you talking about? And you've mentioned that the Lido Nation also, it's here to educate people about blockchain. And how was the process of founding Lido Nation, and how did you end up now bringing it here in Kenya?
Right. So we were publishing stuff for free. We worked almost 2 years for free.
Yes.
Just out of fun and passion. But then, like most blockchain system, just like most countries, there's usually incentivization program. If a country wants people to plant more corn, what do? They provide some kind of incentivized program. So if you want to plant corn, maybe the government will give you some money, or in advanced country, the government will say, hey, you don't have to pay taxes.
Yes.
If you're growing corn. Same thing. So Cardano has, and most blockchain system has different incentivization program for different agendas that's important to that community. And since blockchain system is new, one important agenda right now is education. Even all the things I've said about blockchain right now, it is still complicated and still confusing.
Yeah. Even to me, I'm still trying to keep up with all this information. Yeah.
So Cardano had an incentivization program called Project Catalyst, where they will identify different categories of challenges.
Yes.
That might prevent Cardano adoption.
Yes.
And so they will put up some money and say, hey, if you have some ideas on how to solve these challenges in a way that fosters Cardano's adoption, you can apply. You can put an idea together, put a budget together, and apply. So we applied, and of course we were denied. We were new. Nobody knew who we were. It was very competitive. We hadn't shown our worth yet.
Yes.
But we applied again, and then we were accepted. So we applied for a grant. And then also my co-founder, my friend I used to help me with the blog and tell me when something is stupid. We eventually formed a company, Lido Nation. She became the co-founder. I'm the co-founder. She also, in her day job, she works for NGOs.
Yes.
Including an NGO here in Nairobi called Gongro Children Foundation, NRCF.
Yes.
So once we were thinking about education and what Lido Nation should do, naturally, again, I liked Cardano because they said they were going to onboard 1 billion Africans. And I was looking around and I was like, okay, who's doing this? Who's onboarding these 1 billion African? Who's telling them about blockchain? And I couldn't see who was doing that. So as someone from Africa, I said, you know what? I can be part of that effort to onboard 1 billion Africans. So through my partner day job, we partner with NRCF in Kenya and help them establish a computer lab so we can start teaching people about blockchain. Wow. That's how Kenya got into the picture.
Amazing. That's quite awesome. Yeah. And so how does Lido Nation operate, especially for Kenyan context?
So now we do two types of training. We have every Monday we publish an article on our website, lidonation.com,
Yes.
that teaches something about blockchain.
Yeah.
And then we also do some developer training and mentorship physically on ground in Kenya. So we usually have 4 to 5 people that we take through a 6 to 9 months program. You have to have done a boot camp,
yes,
or graduate in computer science.
Yeah.
Then you can come to me and I will start teaching you how to build enterprise application that makes use of blockchain technology. We do this for 3 months. And it's not, you're not working for free.
Yes.
There is an incentivization structure where you get paid thanks to Project Catalyst for 3 months. And if you're showing that, you know, this stuff is for you and you're not just in it for the money, you actually understand it, then you get to move on. If, unfortunately, this is not your cup of tea, I usually let you go. But those who make it past the 3 months would then get another 6 months to see if they can stand on their own 2 feet.
Okay.
If you make it through the 6 months,
yes,
then your name just go on the list for whenever there is a project that you can work on. But I will say, everyone who's gone through the 6 months have had work to do every single week for the last almost 2 years now.
Wow. And how many people have you worked with?
We've worked with over 40 people.
Yes.
Only about 15 has made it past the 6 months and still have jobs now.
And they're still working. The 15 are still working.
Yes.
Is it free to enroll into this program?
Yes, it's free. It's free. The only thing you have to pay with is time.
So you have to commit.
You have to commit. At least if you commit, you also get a small salary.
During the training, the first 3 months of this?
Yes, you get a small salary too.
Wow, that's
and
good.
I say small, but it's really up to how much you commit, right? Like there are people who makes 30K a month
during the training, the first 3 months.
The first 3 months. And there are people who makes up to 80K during that same 3 months.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. And how often do you recruit people into that program?
So not often. What I'm trying to do now, what we're trying to do at Lido is to just have a running rotation.
Yes.
Where for sure we can have 2 people every 6 months.
Yes.
So every 6 months, and we want to do that continuously until we run out of money, or until, you know, I don't know.
But that's really great work you're doing, because you're creating employment for young people in this country. So
yes, we know when the internet technology came out, the people who risked their time and their energy and their money just to learn about what internet was all about, are currently the richest people in the world. Like, you name anybody that's rich right now, they either married someone that was in the internet, or they were in the internet themselves.
Yes.
Okay. So with this new technology, I really want Africans to have that same opportunity, to have the ideas, and see if maybe 20 years from now, when we're listing the world richest people, there will be some Africans there too.
Wow. Yeah. The people, the early adopters, will have to, to earn a lot from that. And And how do you see blockchain now creating employment for the future of work? Because in this podcast, we also like to talk about the future of work. How do you see that in relation to blockchain?
And I think that brings us to one of the other things we're doing here in Kenya too, because we built this small container computer lab. It still exists on Gong Road, Blockchain Centre Nairobi. No, what did we call it back then? Now I'm confusing it with this effort. Gunro Blockchain Lab. Okay, is what we called it. But it was small. It could sit like 6 people.
Yes,
and it was just for training. So that effort was so successful, we got another grant to do more work, and then we found a partner, WADA, and then Lido Nation put some of a bit of their own money. We
Yes.
created this space where the interview is happening now, which is the Blockchain Centre at Malala Oasis in Kilimani. And the whole idea of this Blockchain Centre is to have a community space
Yes.
where we can share ideas, share opportunities. I mentioned earlier, every country has incentivization program to encourage certain activities or certain economic activities. This is true with every single blockchain except Bitcoin that I know of. Even Bitcoin has incentivization program, but it's not accessible to normal users. But there are over 10,000 blockchain systems right now. I might even be underestimating. And each of them have they work like little countries that has incentivization programs. So just by learning about what's happening, doesn't matter your skill, you can actually find paying jobs within these blockchains community.
Yes.
Right now, I work full time on the Blockchain Centre and Lido Nation solely because of the Cardano Treasury.
I see.
They've given me grants there. Lido Nation and Blockchain Centre have received over 1 million ADA.
Wow.
To put that into US dollar terms, because sometimes the price of ADA fluctuates.
Yeah.
But it's well over 450,000 US dollars. That's money that literally came from the internet.
Yes. Yes.
And I am not the biggest recipient of Cardano Treasury money. I'm not even in the top 50.
Wow.
Right.
Yes.
So there's lots of opportunities just by being in the blockchain system. If you're an educator, you're a marketer, you're a developer, you know how to make videos and marketing materials, like just about every skill you have, there's a need for it to help this blockchain system be adopted.
Wow, that's quite great because you've mentioned different fields. There's employment and there's work in the blockchain industry. Whether you're a developer, you're a trainer, there's something for you.
There's something for you.
Wow. So we are currently recording this podcast at Blockchain Centre here in Kilimani, Malala Oasis. So this is a center, as Darlington has talked about it. It's a center for blockchain community, developers, anyone looking for a co-working space. You're very much welcome to this center at any time. And maybe now we can get into the Blockchain Center. Give us a little bit more information about the space.
When I was coming up as a developer, it was rough.
Yes.
I had nobody to talk to. There was Stack Overflow and Google, but to just sit down next to someone and just have them look over your shoulder and help you with something, it was horrible. And then eventually meetup.com became a thing.
Yes.
And then I started finding communities. WordPress communities, PHP communities, Laravel communities, and those physical connections, those physical meetings really helped me.
Yes.
And then COVID happened, and then everything shut down.
Yeah, everyone went home.
Exactly. And so as people are trying to understand this blockchain ecosystem, it really helps if someone can hold your hand, if you can just be next to someone and just talk through the nitty-gritty and the difficult bits of it. And so that's why I wanted to create this space. I wanted it to be a beautiful space where you can come in, feel comfortable. The space is not even finished.
Yes.
Even where we're sitting, there's going to be a couch here and a nice TV in the future.
Yeah.
Right. In the future, as in like 2 weeks.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
So this space is meant to be a place where you can just walk in and there's someone there who can answer your question. If it's not us, it's meant to be a space for lots and lots of different communities.
Yes.
So not just blockchain or Cardano, but if you have any kind of community that meets regularly or that needs a physical space for growth and bonding and learning from each other, that's what this space is meant to be. So as individuals, you can just walk in, usually 5 days a week. we're here from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can
Yes.
just walk through the door, get information, or if you just want to even just bring your computer and work, if there's no activity going on, that is totally allowed too. You can just come and work. There's Wi-Fi, there's free coffee. Um, but if you
Yes.
have a community,
Yeah.
we really want to help you grow your community.
Okay.
So we're not just like offering a place for you to rent. We're planning to get a professional printer so you can print all of your community flyers at much lower price than if you went to CBD.
Yes.
And we have experts here, event planning expert, graphic design expert. We want to help you grow your community, almost like we want to be a community growth partner,
Yes.
right? And our website, we want to help with like co-marketing, list your events. Even if you don't have a way to receive tickets and for people to check in and those kinds of things, we have all of that for you. So if you are someone, because most people when they run communities is part-time.
Yeah.
It's the doing it out of the goodness of their
Once in a
heart.
while.
They have full-time jobs.
Yes.
Right. So we just want to help you so you can, don't have to take on all that work by yourself. That's what the Blockchain Center is going to be. And then we're going to have a lot of events just for the community, just to bring people together regularly. Yeah.
Wow. And is it just for tech guys, people who are doing computer and other tech stuff,
Not
or
just
it's
tech.
for anyone?
This is for anyone.
Uh-huh.
Everyone drinks coffee. Well, if not coffee,
that's
there's
true.
tea, right? We have tea too, by the
Yes.
way. So it's not just tech. Any community, really.
Yeah.
It's a space. There's going to be a like a kitchen table, bar, stool area there, a couch here. And then we've left the space completely open, as you can. There's no partitions.
Yes.
So you can always rearrange it to fit what your exact need is, but not limited to tech.
I see. And someone who wants to know more about Lido Nation, can they walk in here to get more information?
Yes, they can walk in here to get more information. If you want to know about Lido Nation, Cardano, and then we're working on 2 to 3 other blockchains. So
Yes.
if you walk in here, there will be someone here who has deep knowledge always from
Yeah.
5 days a week. And you can also walk out with like a little information packet.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. I think that's quite important because someone might be interested in joining Lido Nation and understanding what you're doing, and that's quite helpful. This has been great, and thanks so much, Darlington, for joining us in this podcast, but also to hear your thoughts around the future of work again, and also for this one is to concentrate more into tech jobs. I've seen a lot of people talking about how tech jobs are reducing. There's a lot of layoffs and people are worried. Software development, web development. What is the next big thing in tech and for African or Kenyan context?
In tech, well, I mean, I think, especially in Kenya,
Yes.
we are definitely keeping up with blockchain technology and AI and those kinds of things, because that's where most of the world is going. And
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen how AI and blockchain will truly drive commerce.
Okay.
When the internet came out, no one envisioned social media, but social media wouldn't have happened without the internet.
Yes.
Now you have people dancing and painting their face on camera and playing with cats, and they're making money from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we've not reached that place yet, where people can really use the blockchain not for the blockchain's sake, but use it to create something human, something completely different. The same way we had the social media renaissance, for lack of better words. So we're still getting there to see how people will use that stuff.
Okay.
But I have strongly believe whatever we have, it will be built on top of blockchain technology.
Yes.
And AI. So those are good things to know about.
Yes.
Not even just from a technical level, because it takes a lot of different skills for anything to be successful. Anything. You need technical people, you need marketing people, you need people who can teach this stuff, right? So you just, whatever skill you have, just try to see how that fits into AI or blockchain technology, graphic designer. Even when people started working on computers, there was a whole new series of diseases that we started getting also because of the way computers forces us to be in certain postures.
Yes,
So
yes.
even the medical field had implications. Same thing will happen. Doesn't matter what field you're in, just try to see how it might align with this whole blockchain and AI thing, and just get a little bit of knowledge if you're not a technical person, because it's coming. And the nice thing, Zuckerberg, when he created Facebook, he wasn't doing it out of genius.
Uh-huh.
He was doing it out of being drunk and bored. So once you
I
have
see.
the knowledge, who knows what you're gonna, one day you're too tired, you're just gonna think of something. But you have
Yes.
to have the knowledge first.
Wow. I see. Thank you so much for making time, and thank you so much for this episode. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we are shooting this episode from Blockchain Centre here in Kilimani. It's at Maral Oasis. You can find them here. And do like this episode, comment, tell us more about blockchain and what you think. Also share with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye.